What's up, guys? So, I didn't make my video yesterday, and I thought I would jump on here today and just kind of encourage you guys um, and KK, good to see you. John White, my brother, I ain't seen you in a while. Been missing you. And TJ Miller, good to see you, my brother. So I thought I'd just jump on here and encourage you guys. And I'm missing my last week altogether, man. Just slipped my mind, and then a lot going on. Man, just some awesome stuff, some great stuff happening. And hope everything's going well with you. If not, please let us know how we can be praying for you. If you need us, please let us know. Which kind of dovetails into what I've been reading today. I've been reading through the book of Job, almost through the book of Job this week. And, I was thinking about, first of all, the book of Job. If I were to ask you what the book of Job was about, my first thought would be, well, it's about Job and the difficulties and the trials that Job had. But actually, there's very little in the book of Job about the actual trials that Job had. The majority of the book of Job is about the response. Hi, Michelle. The majority of the book of Job is about the response that Job and his friends have to the problems that he had. Good to see you, Gerald. And so when you think about the life of Job, what he had gone through, what he had experienced, we see just an issue that Job was having, and the perspective. It's all really about the perspective that Job was having. So I want to read to you something that really just jumped out at me, made me think about what's going on in my world and in my life. In Job chapter number 10, verse number 4, the Bible says, thou hast eyes of, do you have eyes of flesh? Job is asking here to the Lord. He's calling out to the Lord. He's making his petition before God. Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as man seest? Are thy days as days of man? Are thy years as man's days? That thou inquirest after mine iniquity and searchest after my sin. There are two words that really jumped out at me, and the words were man's days. Job asked God, said, do you have man's days? Are your days like man's days? Are your years, the years that you experience with us, like man days? I was just thinking, our days in this world are short. Next year, I'll have been in this world half a century. And life just passes by, just goes so quickly. And God he doesn't experience time like that. And you and I only have a limited amount of time to do what we're going to do in this world. And God has given us just this limited amount of time. I was thinking also, what makes time? I guess that it has a beginning. In Genesis chapter 1, in the beginning, God created. But man didn't really experience the impact of time in his life until he understood the impact of an end. God had told man, in the day you eat of this fruit, mankind, in the day you eat of this fruit, you're going to die. And so, Romans lets us know that death passed upon all men. We started understanding how temporary life is and how short life is. So for us, we experience life in what Job referred to as man days. And just a day. I mean, right now it's 2:45. Time just passes by so quick. And so for you and I, we need to be very careful that we do what the Bible calls redeem the time, because the days are evil. We need to make our time in this world count. I think the devil is more than happy to play the long game with us, to make us think if that we can do things later. We've heard the little poem that says, "Of all the sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these. It might have been." And so we need to make sure that in our life we make life count, because Job recognized here in Job chapter number 10 that life is short. It's few days. So just an encouragement today, regardless of what's going on in this life, let's make sure we still make our lives count, for time and for eternity. So have a great day and God bless. Ricky, good to see you, man. I thought I heard your voice earlier. Ricky, did you come by here earlier? Um, anyway, have a